Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, crypto debit Visa card, making money online, stock market tips to boot. And if you still haven't gotten into the stock market trading game, you should, because there is a volatility that makes sure that you could possibly win, even if you're a beginner. So, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the video because you never know who's out here looking for information. A lot of people are messing around with crypto. There's some that are trading crypto, making money from crypto. Also, if you do stock market trading, oftentimes brokers use crypto that you upload and they'll download it to wherever you want it to go to. That is perfect for this crypto Visa card, debit card. And you guys know a little bit about it, but in the chat room, no matter where you're watching from, I see you, Divine Transit. Thank you so much for being in the house. No matter where you're watching from, I have put a link for the Bankus company, but it's not the company. It's people that are doing the Zoom calls every Tuesday and Thursday. Al Aarons, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He actually does the Zoom calls. He's actually an officer of Bankus. So I don't know if he's a global, if he's the USA rep, whatever the situation is. That's the Zoom calls every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time and 8 p.m. Eastern time. So there's components where you can make money by referring people. I have the referral code myself. I'm even going to actually go into the back office and show you how simple this is. Nothing crazy. If you want to download your crypto to the card, because that's what basically you would be doing. They're not an exchange. They're not a trading program. They basically are just a crypto debit card, meaning USDT, Bitcoin, Ethereum can be downloaded, and now you can use your card at any location because it has the Visa MasterCard logo. They have different cards. So hopefully that helps you out anyhow. And those of you who might do trading and who do not want to send it back to your broker for tracking purposes, this card is in Mexico City, not inside the USA. And since they don't trade, since you can't use it as a trading platform, that means you don't have to deal with those pesky laws that they have for when you're trying to actually do something regarding trading and moving money or investing type stuff. That's not this. You're just loading a card, a debit card. And it just so happens you can load it with crypto. And it comes out in your currency no matter where you are. So if you go to the ATM machine and use it, it's the currency of wherever you are. It's beautiful. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen. Or you can always do USD, but the USA dollar, but the point is why. So that gives you a leg up. It's outside of America, which is one of my favorite things in the first place. Broke countries, you have to be careful where you keep your money. But anyhow, it goes into your Bankus account. I'll show you the back office here shortly. About making money comes up as well. Also, there is something that came out. If you're part of our Telegram group, part of Discord, part of WhatsApp, SSN Lifestyle, group. If you're part of our Stop Struggling Now group on Facebook or Stop Struggling Now page on Facebook, then you would have a link to this Sunday, and apparently this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, every Sunday, starting this past Sunday, yesterday, was the first one they did. And that's the only place you're going to get the information, because you're going to have to send an email, and they're only allowing people that sign up for Bankus to be in the Sundays. But the Tuesdays and Thursdays, anybody can be involved. And since there's a referral link, you can refer other people and you can get paid. We'll get into that shortly. If anybody has any questions, let me know, because this is cool. Let me show you. They have a plastic card and a metal card. So I have a plastic card because I really don't care about cards. I have several cards. Let's go. Here's the plastic card that I ordered. It's $50 now. It's $35 plus $15 shipping. This is the plastic card, okay? And it has the tap feature. And it's not metal. So they have a metal card too, but it's $85 plus $15 shipping. It takes 3 to 4 weeks to ship to America, USA, from Mexico. Now, if you live in other countries, depending on how your postal service works, it could take longer than 3 to 4 weeks, just so you understand. All right? Let's see who's in the house. Mr. Worldwide 2's here with that icon next to his name, which means he's a member of the channel, which I humbly appreciate. Thank you so much for that. And the investors in the house, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hi all, let's do this. That's what we're doing. We're out here. Online money making potential, because you can refer other people with Bankus. That's what we're talking about. Also, we'll get into some other features that I love about it. The one feature, I'll just start it off. The main one for me wasn't about the making money part by referring people. My main thing was I like to make money outside of the United States system. Because sooner or later, one of these days, if it hasn't happened to you already, it could, where you wake up and be like, oh, let me go pay my bill. And then the next thing you know, you're thinking like, wait, this card's not working. What's happening? This is my bank account card. It's not working. Okay, there's a glitch in the system. No worries. I'll check later. I'll go to the ATM later or whatever I got to do. Yeah, okay, that later comes and you go check. And all of a sudden you're like, this is weird. Call up the bank. Hey, man, what's going on? Where's my money? They're like, what's happening? I tried to use my card twice. I can't get any money out. It's saying, I don't know, reject. Oh, Mr. Bird, you have no money in your account. Get that called. Do that, ladies and gentlemen, and then you will see exactly why I have a different point of view. And not once, not twice, 3 times in my lifetime, 3 different banks. So just so you guys understand, just because they say regulated, I don't believe them. Just so you know. All right, let's go. What crypto coin do you get with that credit card? None. This is not like crypto.com or any others where you get rewards like the Robinhood credit card. This is a debit card. So no, you don't get any rewards. You don't get any crypto like a crypto card, your credit card from Robinhood, anything like that. This is not that. This is not credit. This is nothing. You're actually loading the card. There's 2 features about this card that's major. For all of you, if you're watching, which I know there's not that many people watching outside the United States, the main thing is you can send money to other Bankus holders. That is another point that is major. If you have children living inside, outside of the country, if you have family members inside, outside of the country, and you send money to them, if each of you have a Bankus account, you can send the money. It'll be in their account within a mere minute. And now they can either use the debit side, the credit side, which is not credit, but the Visa MasterCard side, And so therefore they can do transactions, or even if they don't have a card, because Bankus has a virtual card. So now they can make payments online without leaving the house. And you want to know something that's awesome about the Bankus card? This is so awesome. BTC, instead of cash back, you get the coins. No, no, you don't get any cash back for using this. It's basically what do you call those cards? Load cards that you have, the vanilla, the Visa, the MasterCards that people load. That's basically it. No rewards whatsoever. The reward comes if you refer others and they buy the card, then you receive a percentage. I'll go over that shortly as well. And if a person buys the card, you get some commission. And by referring others, they have a three-tier system where if I signed up somebody, then I get a certain percentage. If they signed up somebody and purchase a card or load the card, you also receive money, some commissions. So loading the card gets commissions, referring others gives you commissions. That's it. That's all. Or don't do any of that, but just have the card and use it and do what you want with it. You don't have to refer people. You don't get any real bonuses, even though they do have a promotion. So, of course, it's in their best interest as a company to have a promotion for people that sign up other people. But I say if you're shipping, I have, like I told you guys before, I have friends that ship to Mexico right now as we speak, and they're using, I don't even know what they're using, but I just told them about it. So, one or two signed up the card, but here's the thing. The other people on the receiving end doesn't have to get a card because there's a virtual card. So it has a Visa, MasterCard, and one of my favorite things, for 5 minutes, the CVV code changes. That I love as a security feature. They also have in the back office, which I'll show you, has a block. So if you're not going to use your card, you can just push the button over to block. So nothing's going to work. I love that feature as well. They have that. And again, my main feature is it's not regulated in the United States, which some people would say, well, that's a good thing. I'm saying, well, there's no fraud in regulated environments. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. Stop thinking like you have protection when you really don't. So did not Wells Fargo executives, Wells Fargo employees siphon money out of people's accounts? Think about all this. This is a regulated environment. So again, I don't get bothered by regulated because even in America, people are still getting ripped off. And our government is stealing from people as well. So I'm just saying. So I say, okay, I'll take my risk with these guys. No problem. That's the way I look at it. Everybody has a different risk level. So let's see what else we got going on. Besides that is, I'll just show you guys the app. Hold on a second before I do that though, because I just realized, let me go check something. I don't have my stuff blocked because I'm going to show you my card and stuff, which is pretty cool. The virtual card. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I put the block on because you'll have my number. Somebody can have my number and my valid date, but they're not going to have nothing else. All right. Let's get down to more business factors about this. Now, since you can make money from it, that's why I have some of the title talking about make money online. This is another way. If you like referral marketing and you have friends that actually load cards and they're trying to load up their crypto that they get or trade or use, then they might consider having this. There's always a drawback in every system. Is it a drawback? I don't know. You can decide. What I do not like is the 4%. If I load my card, 4% fee is charged. So $1,000 is $40. That's the only thing I don't really like. But if you refer others, make a little money, okay, so what? It's an offset. But the fact of the matter is, loading the card does cost 4%. And it's broken down with 3% goes to the company, and they give 1% to the person that referred you, for instance. All right, now back to the Sunday night thing before I forget. On Sunday night, On Sunday night at 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, they have a person that calls himself the Wealth Minister. His first name is Eric, by the way, as well. But the thing is, he does an overview, does on Zoom, and answers questions as well. He's actually an independent person who's referred. I don't even, they talk about it on the Zoom calls, but it's over a few hundred people from him referring a few, and then those few referring other few. But anyhow, every Sunday at 4 p.m., mark your calendars, Eastern Standard Time, he goes over it. I'm going to show part of a video that he sent over yesterday, which I don't even know if I have approval for this, but I'm just going to show a screenshot so you guys can see what I'm referring to about making money. All right. It's that simple. I didn't want to forget about that. Now let's get into this other scenario. Let me see where I can go. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. I'm doing too many things at once, it looks like. I wanted to go to, I'm going to show you guys. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. There's the fees. I want to show that screenshot of the fees. And I wanted to do some other things as well. So we'll go with the Bankis app. Nope, I already have this up. So we'll just go with the fees that I was just talking about. And this is the person who was kind enough to, if you show up on the Sunday, the first Sunday, it just happened yesterday, 4 p.m. Eastern. He has an email. And again, if you're on our SSN Lifestyle WhatsApp group, it's there. If you're on Discord, it's there. If you're on Facebook group, Stop Struggling Now, or the Facebook page, it's there. If you go and look at even on YouTube, Instagram, if you go to Instagram, it's posted yesterday. If you go to our post or community tab on YouTube, it's there from yesterday. You got to email him, give him your sponsor name, which of course you'd put Eric Bird if you use the link in the chat rooms or down below in the description box. Then he's going to say email address. This is how you're going to get on the Sunday 4 p.m. Eastern. He approves it, just so you know. All right. And then you're going to have to give him email address. I can't remember all. There was 4 things. All right. Your name, your sponsor's name, and your email address. And I'm probably missing something else. But nonetheless, those are the basics. And I'm not going to give out his email address just yet. You guys can go look for it yourself. All right. Just letting you know the situation. Now, here's the Bankis one. This is the one that I've been holding that you guys have seen, right? You've seen this one for the last 2 months. All right. This is, like I say, $35 plus $15 shipping. It's not that crazy. Contactless. Google, what was that? Google, I messed around. Google, it's going. Hold on, I didn't mean to do that. We got Apple Pay, Google Wallet, online and in-store mobile payments via NFC, okay. This is the digital card, and I was actually on, like, my card, so I'll go back. All right, accepted at 150 million merchants in over 200 countries, ATM withdrawals, daily payment limit up to 5K, monthly payment limit up to 150,000, daily ATM withdrawal limit 500. You know you can only withdraw whatever the ATM allows you for the max. So even though you can withdraw 500, the ATM, depending on where you are in the world, some say you can only withdraw $400 a day, $300, 250, depends on where you are in the world. And there's no withdrawal fees. It says lower withdrawal fees, but most people's ATM charges. That has nothing to do with Bankis. Bankis doesn't charge. All right. And here you see $35 plus shipping. All right. So since this is a nice little segue, I'll just go here. This is the virtual card. They're calling it a tokenized digital card. I don't know why they say tokenized, because it's, I mean, I guess if you're using crypto and then you send it to the card, it can be considered tokenized. But again, Available on Apple Pay and Google Wallet, online and in-store mobile payments via NFC, daily top-up limit up to 2,500, but this is included right now when you order this card or the metal card. Monthly top-up limit up to 75,000. Instant use, no physical card required. Advanced mobile payment security. I'm going to show you what they mean by that because I just told you I blocked the card and it puts my username, not really my username, but it's like my name that I use, Team to Win, right? So, in fact, I should make shirts on that, but I have never done that. But anyhow, the gear, stopstrugglingnow.com. Okay, enough. I got to have a little fun. Oh, by the way, did anybody see any trailer today? I added a trailer. I've done this every live stream for 3 weeks. Apparently, nobody's seen the trailer, even though I've added it. People used to see the trailer, but not anymore. After we get done with this last little section, all right, I'm going to go to, here's the money making part, sales commissions, just so you guys can understand. So everybody's in this. Oh, it's 2 tiers. I thought it was 3. This is really the first time I even pay attention because I just zoom out when they start doing this because I don't really care. But now I guess I'm going to care a little. But the point is, Bankers One Elite is the gold. I mean, not the gold, is the metal card. And the Bankers One that I'm holding is the plastic card. And as you can see, level 1, people get 10% of the purchase price. Oh, there is 3 levels. They just did it sideways instead of line. Okay, so the first level, 10%. So anybody that has signed up, I receive 10% of the $85 is $8.50. And the $35 card right here is $3.50 commission. All right. But once you sign up and refer a person, then since I'm above you, I get on my second level, because you're going to be on my first. The second level gets $12.75. I mean, 15%. So the Bankers One Elite, the metal card, you get $12.75. The plastic card, $5.25. So there you go. Pretty simple. We'll keep going with it because we go to the third level. So that means I signed you up. You signed up a person. Then that person signs up a person. So that means now I get 10%. Back to level 1 again for me, $8.50. And the Bankers plastic card is $3.50. Pretty simple. Not bad. 10% on the first level, 15. So there's some people that like doing this and referring people. I don't mind telling people about it. I use the Bankers card. All right, now let's get into the other goodie part. Let's go to the app. This right here is the back. This is what it looks like on the app. Like if you guys use my link, you download the app. This is what it looks like on your phone. This is what it looks like on your desktop or laptop or tablet if you wanted to do that, which I don't know why you would. So when you first get your cards, you're going to try and activate. Well, with everything, there's not everything great because the cards have been, I can't activate. So my card's not activated, just so you understand. They were going to, well, my card's a MasterCard. They were going to switch from Visa to MasterCard. So my card, okay, is MasterCard. So now they're going to have both. So it appears that they had to change their software up so they can accept both. So therefore, we can't activate our cards right now. But everybody can use their digital card, just so you understand. All right? So, as you can see, the name on the digital card is Team to Win, like it matters. It doesn't matter. The CVV, click on the card to see the CVV. Here's the funny part. I'm not going to show you that because then the CVV shows and then it stays that CVV for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the CVC changes, all right, to another CVV code. Right here, unblock the card. I blocked the card. All right, so you just hit this. This comes up. It's in Espanol. They're going to make this in English and Spanish. They have not done that yet, but I just unblocked the card, right? So now I can block it back. So it's going to be blocked. It's that simple. There's nothing to it. This right here means even if nobody has the card or does have the card, you can't activate it. It's okay. This is how it's going to work. All right. Let's see. Right here, my cards, nothing major. They have my transactions. So anybody that buys anything, like somebody made a deposit, then I got 5 cents. Somebody bought a card, I got $12. So they're depositing your account. You can see it right here. Deposit again, 14 cents. Somebody bought a card, $5.02. So I make a little commission, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple. So that is it. There's not really much to this, right? It's just a debit card that you refer to other people. And then my crypto account shows for the crypto and shows for the card. So you can transfer this in here. That's fine. If you want, you can just leave whatever you want in here. Does not matter. So it's up to you. Send, simple, deposit, my transactions. That's it. But here is where we have this can't activate scenario. Restricted right now. But again, you can use your digital cards. And you can refer other people, and you can make money, and you can do all that, and still use a card. Just so you know. All right. Anybody have any questions, let me know. It's very relatively simple. All right. Let's see what's going on. I see Mr. Dividends in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation. Hold on a second. I'm going to get off this off screen. SSN Nation. Wait. Did I not show you? Oh, are you kidding me? I was over here messing around, so I didn't even show you guys. You didn't even see this. That's funny. That's funny. See what happens when I wasn't paying attention in the no switch zone. So you guys didn't even see it. Okay, well, let's go a different route then. I got to redo it so you guys can see what it looks like when you use your phone and download the app using the link. Let's go. Hold on a minute. I didn't even realize it. So here's where I was. All right. This is the last part that I was referring to. See, they're still doing this. It's, system they're trying to get hooked up with Visa. They have Visa and MasterCard, both cards. They were going to get rid of the Visa and go MasterCard only, but then they worked it out where they're going to do Visa and MasterCard, and they're trying to put the system together. So that's a problem, right? So this is what I was referring to about my cards. I haven't been able to activate the card because in order for to activate, the system has to be in. This is the virtual card that I was referring to. And the virtual card just has whatever name you put on here. Mine says Team to Win that I mentioned. And I blocked the card. And this is what I was referring to that was in Spanish. So I just unblocked it, I believe. Let's see. Yep, unblocked it. So block card. So I'll put it back. Now, the reason why some would say, Eric, why are you showing your card is because the CVV, as I mentioned before, the CVV changes every 5 minutes. It's random. So therefore, a person won't know it. They can't guess it. So, and since it's random every 5 minutes, they won't be able to use the card. Just saying. All right. So you can have the number, and the Team to Win part doesn't even matter. But this is our digital cards in the background, just so everybody understands. And then I was showing some of the transactions, and this is when deposit comes from Bankus. Somebody made a load, it looks like, loaded up some money. This $12 appears to be somebody bought like the $85 metal card. Somebody loaded again, testing. Somebody bought a plastic card. So again, this is how people can make money. Another person bought a plastic card because we know the first level, right, was 8.5%. So that's how you could, that's another plastic card. So then how do you make money? More people refer a person or two, and then another person or two starts loading. So you start getting 20 cents here, 50 cents there, 14 cents here. It all depends. Remember, it's 4% and you get 1%. So it's pretty simple. $100 means $1. $50 means 50 cents, right? You can send whatever you want to your account. And you do have an account, ladies and gentlemen, right? You're going to be sending crypto. USDT preferred, just so you understand, right? It's not that hard. Load is right here. Balance available, $30. Cool. Here's the exchange rate, $16. Now, I don't know what this means, but it might mean whatever. $1 or something. I don't know the exchange rate for Mexico. Haven't been planning to go there anytime. So this is how you recharge your card, which I didn't show before. All right, so you can just do something like that. Here's what it shows. All right. In fact, why don't I just find out what this is? I don't know what it is. Hold on. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I got too many cards on the road. I used to keep my cards at home. All right. Let's go. Let's go see. What is the exchange rate? Exchange rate. What? No. It's 0.058. Wow, really? Sheesh. That's 20. So that's like 80 cents or something? Yeah, I think that's like 80 cents. So we do have a fee to charge. And that's where you got those little 14 cents things and whatever the other one was. That's why that was a small amount. All right. So that was a $25 load. So you can see right there, it's not going to be that much. Some people might load 1,000, 1,500. So there you go. And then you just hit recharge, and then it's that simple. All right. Not anything crazy. They'll give you a code to send down, and there you go. All right. Anybody have any questions? Let me know. Brian P's in the house. Mr. Dividend is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And I know he must have sent me some emails. So that means now I have to go check them out because, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those important things. Stock market tips be damned for the moment, because health is wealth and you're getting screwed out here in America because there's recalls galore and they don't make any PSAs about it. You have to go searching for it. There's stuff on the market that they know is hurting you, and they're not going to be announcing it on any national televised channels at all. You're just going to somehow luck upon finding out. That's insane. What kind of, do you guys know what country you live in? That's insane. Basically, you're test subjects. I know people have a hard time after you grow up in a country believing certain principles, and then you find out, wait a minute, we're all test subjects around here. They approve drugs that they know hurt you. Just find out what's going to happen. They put people in you live in certain areas. They know it's going to hurt you, and they say, well, let's just throw in some substance in the water and let's see what happens to these 4, 5, 10, 20,000 people that live around here. Do you guys know what country you live in? I mean, all the propaganda is insanity. They literally have done this. You guys can easily just forget that. Chat GPT. It's free. Ask Chat GPT. Has America ever intentionally poisoned its military personnel in people living in certain communities in the United States? I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff is going to come up, all right? That's just one thing. tainting your water supply on purpose, tainting your food supply on purpose. Just crazy. Just really, really crazy when you think about it. And these people are in charge. All right. Okay, let's go. Okay, I need this signed in. Let's go see. All right, gentlemen. We got 9-7. Yeah, man. They ain't gonna do that, man. Um, what's happening? Oh, sorry. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. This is a PSA announcements. Whenever you're here on our live streams, we got to do some recall stuff. Not all of them, but there's going to be some because we can't do them all. There's so many, it's ridiculous. All right. Whether it's your vehicles needing recalls, the food supply, the drugs, the supplements. I mean, it's just across the board. And what could go wrong if you have a government that says, we don't need that many inspectors. It costs too much. We don't even need that department anymore, which is what this administration has said. Um, Florida wins legal battle against Mercedes-Benz dealership after her car sat untouched for 25 months. Wow. Real estate investors profit from long-term care facilities. That is very, very true. That's something that you might want to consider as an investment strategy. Hampshire college's demise is yet another blow to creative, outside the box options in higher education. See, this is what happens. You dumb down your citizens. They get more desperate. They don't have the skill set to earn that much. So then they have to deal with whatever the government doles out their way. Lack of jobs, no problem for the wealthy and the well off, but a problem on the low end. So you have more and more homeless people. But anyhow, that's a whole nother story. But you got a way to make additional funds by referring people, ladies and gentlemen, telling people about this all over the world, by the way, because this doesn't even matter where you live. Because people do crypto all over the world. People need to send money to other people all over the world. So now they have a fast action transit. Yes, it's going to cost you 4%. But the point is, people are going to use this because this is one of the only ways they can move money fast without having to go down and wire, even though you can wire online nowadays, but you don't need any info. All you need is the person's email address and their name. As long as your account's loaded up, you can send people money. That's how simple it is. Trampoline sold at Walmart, recalled over strangulation risk to young children. That, this is crazy. This should have been a PSA all over TV, all over radio, TV. It should be saying, hey, man, whoever has these trampolines, there's a strangulation risk for your youngsters. That's crazy. I mean, this is sad. Trampoline sold, strangulation risk to young women, young children. The Consumer Product Safety Commission really has announced a recall of approximately 1,200 Segmart mini round toddler trampolines to strangulation hazard posed by accessory components. December 25th, accessory kits sold for February 26th. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're dealing with out here. This is just so. It's like I don't even understand. There's like nothing, no safety nets whatsoever anymore. And like I said, we have an administration that has purposely did this. They've gutted the Consumer Product Safety Commission. They're gutting anything, allowing corporations to taint your water supply, toxic chemicals in soil, in the water, and they don't care. Reduce inspectors for your food, for the beef, the chicken, the poultry, the dairy. They say, we don't need that. Nobody to inspect and make sure these corporations aren't cutting corners to save themselves some money. Nah, we think they're going to be honest brokers out here. Since when? That's never been a thing. Corporations are never honest brokers. That's why data centers are trying to be built, knowing that they suck up the water from the aquifer and knowing that it gives out toxic chemicals. They're like, nope, just let them build some more of these things. I'm just like, this is crazy. So, anyhow, you guys get the gist of this. I'm going to put a link in the chat room so you guys can go check it out for yourself. Oh, wait a minute. I got to do some other things while I'm thinking about it here. Hold on. We got to get a little playlist thing going. The stock market tips. Once again, the tip is, are you not paying attention to what Iran and the United States is doing? Are you not paying attention? Are you not entertained? All I know is if I went around the world and somebody rolled up to America, any country rolled up to America and a USA tanker was off the USA shore, and somebody said, a country said, we're taking it, we're stopping you from going to your destination. I think most people wouldn't be I people would be freaked out in America. But here we are sitting comfortably watching the events in the Middle East, and the United States is doing just that to other countries and calling it good. I'm sitting there like, how is that good? Because if I know if something like that happened here off our coast, people would be like, we're going to war. I mean, the thing is that the worst thing that ever happened well, not well, one of the worst things that happened in recent times is 9/11. And that people said was an act of war, right? Except one problem. We went to deal with Iraq, who actually had nothing to do with it. It's funny how you pick and choose who the bad guys are while you're killing, maiming, and disrupting a whole country for a lie. And now we're in this situation for what exactly? Iran's still going to have oil. They weren't bombing anybody. Israel's bombing everybody in the region. And so when Syria and the other countries decide to fight back, all of a sudden the other countries are the bad guys. They were just sitting there minding their own business, like Lebanon recently. They're sitting there minding their own business. All of a sudden Israel bombs them, and then Hezbollah says, you know what, man, we got to send some missiles back. And then the Israel guys go, oh, look here, man, see, they're terrorists. I'm like, no, you're the. I won't get into it. But that's why it's not safe out here, ladies and gentlemen. People are gaslighting people after they attack you. Then you're the one that's supposed to be like, do nothing. And then if you do something back against them, they're acting like victims. This is like weak ass, mediocre, white dude EU shit to me. I mean, this is like so crazy how you could just roll up on people and shoot them and kill them. And then when they come back at you, you're like, they're the bad guys. We didn't do nothing. America was built on that whole thing. You move out west, take over other people's country, or well, basically, yeah, you take over the country because there was no country. People roll out west and they're showing up on people's doorsteps and lawns and just camping out and building a house. And you're like, hey, man, what are you doing? Oh, we're coming west. We're a United States citizen. They said we can come out here west. They're like, no, it's our stuff. What are you talking about? No, it's our stuff. We just showed up. Then when they get attacked, they're like, hold up, man. Why are you attacking us? We just were told we can come out here and build houses on your land. You know, Israel's doing this right now to people in Gaza. They're going to Britain. British people, descendants of EU, they're all over the world doing the same thing. They are actually selling the idea that they can come to a house in Gaza, Palestinian land, not pay for nothing, move in, and kick the Palestinian family out. Descendants of EU for 500 years, still the same. It's crazy. So anyhow, if they're doing that, ladies and gentlemen, in broad daylight now, Just think of how many people that the rest of the world could obviously be in the same situation. A few of these people want to control everything and everybody. So you better start protecting yourself from henceforth, like I've been telling you guys for the last 6 years, because we had the 3 year run, December 31st. You guys are going to need that bank account outside the United States. You're also going to need, hold on before I forget, let me put this link in here. You're also going to need real estate or business outside of the United States. Just saying. Just saying. Bank account out of the United States, business or real estate outside the United States, and a credit score of 775 or more. Some people would say, Eric, why? Don't worry. Don't worry. You guys, they have criminals running this administration. You know what they did? They made it easier for your credit score to pop because they said, oh, we don't need to worry about FICA anymore. We'll allow you to use Vantage. We'll allow you to add your rent. We'll allow you to add these other payments to boost your credit score up. And we'll lax where we'll give people credit. Bingo. Because putting you in debt is just like you put a country into debt. If you don't pay it, then that means they ding your credit score. Your hiring index score goes down because now somebody looks up your stuff. All of a sudden you got debt. Hey, you might be a risk if you want to be in this line of business, a well-paying job, right? You might have risk. So these are the type of things you want to eliminate people. You give them debt. And you make it easier for them to get debt. So why do you think in the early 2000s that they gave loans to anybody? Because it does not matter. They're selling the paper. The paper was worth more than the loan. And they knew the people were going to default, and all that happened. All that means is they get the homes back. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Simple. All right, let's keep it going. Get ready to back up the stock market truck tomorrow. SPYQQQVOO. Thank you so much. That's the stock market tips we've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. VOOG as well. VTI. VGT. Yeah, Vanguard Group. I'm a heavy fan. Just saying. All right. He's exactly right, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to back up the truck. We have turmoil going on all over the planet, and it's about to get deeper because China's making plays. Everybody's starting to make plays all over the place. In fact, you guys should be worried about something. Remember when I said you should have offshore banking account, offshore business, offshore real estate, something? China just opened up a bank. Guess what currency they're going to start accepting? BRICKS. BRICS. You see this little this situation that just came up. There's talk of, you know who's in BRICS? You know Saudi Arabia's in BRICS, right? Did you know Saudi Arabia, like a month ago, after the disrespect, they're talking about canceling. Oh, they did cancel the live tournament, the live golf tournament that was always at Trump's properties. So he's not going to get that money anymore. Saudi Arabia said, hey, man, you keep talking this mess after you did not protect us. We're thinking about allowing other countries to use their own currency instead of the U.S. dollar. You do realize, I hope, ladies and gentlemen, if Saudi Arabia pulls the plug, all it takes is Iran actually already made today, after their ship got pirated, they said today that Aramco, which is in Saudi Arabia, you might want to be careful where you're on notice. United States does this, keeps doing this crap. We're going to start hitting you. We're going to start hitting everybody in the regions. Stuff. And they had a list. If they hit Aramco, you know the Bush family, that's right, President Bush 1, Bush 2, they own part of Aramco. I know. There's American citizens that own part of Aramco. Aramco's like at one time one of the largest companies in the world. That's funny. But the point is, you hit Aramco, I think that would pretty much tilt this whole dollar situation where they'll be like, we're not backing that petrodollar at all. You can't protect us. You can't do nothing. And we're over here sucking wind for what? You guys didn't have to do none of this. Everything was fine as far as we're concerned. Now we're under threat. We don't have an army. I mean, just think about strategically what this means. This could be a problem. And actually, it's already a problem. So that allows you to do stock market trading, ladies and gentlemen. And that stock market trading, if you're not familiar, I suggest you do something. I suggest you go download the Candlestick Trading Bible for starters. And second, I suggest you get CoinEx or a broker, and a lot of brokers accept crypto, which is on the front end of this why I talk about the Bankus card. If you're going to trade in crypto, make money in crypto, then you might as well be able to use the crypto using a debit card or Visa MasterCard logo debit card. Simple, not that hard. I put a link in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. So, Rico, the realtor, I see you in the house. The Candlestick Trading Bible's there for everybody. It's a PDF. You can keep it for life. Then I'll throw down who my broker I use is very simple. It's a simplistic one. They use MetaTrader 4 and 5. So it's not high-end stuff. But don't worry. There are free signals, free things that you can get that helps you out because that has, the MetaTrader platform's been out for a while. So it's not as fancy as TradingView. I got to admit, TradingView is off the charts. TradingView even has a special. In fact, I should have a link for them too. But CoinEx I like because they're outside the United States. TradingView, they only deal with brokers. Like CoinEx can never be a broker for TradingView because they only deal with brokers that's registered with the United States. And again, registering means you're tracked. You know what this is like? This is like when they had guns and all of a sudden they said, hey, we want everybody to register their guns. That means they know where everybody's guns are, right? Same kind of thing. I don't like registering for my money. They don't have nothing to do with this. They shouldn't be asking me for nothing. So therefore, those guys report to the United States government, right? If you said you got 10 to 15, $20,000, you download it through their platforms. Oh, red flag. Send over a note. I'm like, you guys didn't do nothing for this. Sorry. So anyhow, I use CoinEx. So that's why you guys can see the link is in the chat room. Also for CoinEx. All right? It's that simple. Now, I want to do something else because I did sidestep just in case we have some more. What was that? That was the strangulation recall, which is, that's so sick. Falcon Trading Company. Organic black bean items contain pesticide residue. FDA. What did I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? You're freaking guinea pigs out here. Following Falcon Trading Company. All right, let's go see what we got with these guys. Some black beans now. A lot of people, even I eat some black beans. But again, now you're eating out. Some of these restaurants might be ordering this stuff. Company announcement March 24th. Published date March 26th. Nobody knows about this. Black beans organic. Chili bean blend organic. Sunset soup mix organic. Organic. Sunset soup mix organic. Falcon Trading Company issues a recall. This is item numbers. There have been no illnesses reported to date. Yeah, but this is insane. This is supposedly organic. See, this is what I'm saying. You just never know anymore. Safety alert, FDA. So this one was sent out what day? Doesn't even say. Oh, there we go. March 26th. Thank you so much, Brian P. Mr. Dividend, for sending this over, because this actually has been out for almost a month and hardly anybody knows about it. It says product contains pesticide residue, which, again, cancer causing agents is not good for Americans, not good for humans. That's the UPC codes in case anybody has any of this Falcon Trading organic. And I'll say it again because I got to give you guys the name of these products. Let's go. Let's see. What did I do with it? Uh-oh, where did it go? That's not good. I lost it. Maybe this is it. Nope. That's the Walmart one. It is. Okay. All right, here we go. It's called Black Beans Organic, but it's by the Falcon Trading Company. Chili Bean Blend Organic, Sunset Soup Mix Organic. Those are the ones. And they're from Royal Oaks, California. The 3 items listed. That's what they're recalling right now because these items are sold in bulk. The lot numbers can be mixed in the sales bin. Oh no. Yikes. 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 All right. Here is the link in case I didn't put that out before, which I did not. You can go check this out yourself. This is tainted food supply. So people start wondering, they're like, how come everybody has all these health issues? It adds up quickly. It very quickly adds up. One thing here, one thing there. Talking about trading. Have you started trading with real money yet? Yes, I have post-retirement travel. And because of my limited time, up 3,500 right now. Over time, right now, I'm doing this. My aunt thing is very trying. Today was supposed to be a third. Last Monday was supposed to be surgery. Didn't happen. Then they moved it to Friday. Didn't happen. Then they moved it to today. Didn't happen. Our healthcare system, ladies and gentlemen, didn't happen. Now it's moved to Friday this week. Meanwhile, she's sitting in the hospital. What do you think is happening right now? There's a bill being generated every day. Today, the excuse is the doctor had an emergency. She's been there 8 days. By this Friday, it's going to be almost 2 weeks, 12 days. Do you know how much 12 days at the hospital would cost? Okay, great. Somebody has Medicare, great. Somebody has TRICARE for life. Okay, great. Do you really think these guys are going to be covering $100,000, $75,000, $50,000 a week or whatever it costs? 100% of it? Wrong. All right. This is also why, this is a perfect example why you should have your assets under a trust scenario. Or bypass that kind of and have an LLC or something, but a trust scenario. And I'm not talking about a living trust because that means you still are the trustee and the grantor. So therefore, that's part of your estate. That's part of your living estate. The only way you can get it is if you put it outside of your assets, which means irrevocable trust. And you cannot be trustee. You can be grantor, but you cannot be trustee of a trust that you are putting assets into because they will pierce your corporate veil. And if you need Medicare, Medicaid, guess what? There's only so much of a house that you can own, so much of assets that you can have. This eliminates the Medicare situation. You understand what I'm saying, I hope? Do you know what country you live in? A lot of people do not, because what happens is they become elderly the leftover bills and whatever happens after this healthcare system tears a person apart and they expire. Now all of a sudden people are looking for assets. That's the problem we have in America. So where's that healthcare for all? Let's go. Yes. I've been trying to get a little in here and there, actually, post retirement travel. It's been very, very difficult because I generally go to the hospital every day. And I don't know how to, I don't trade on the phone, just so you know. So I have to do some late night stuff. It's crazy. Early morning. But because things are so volatile, it's been working off awfully good. Very good, quite frankly. So I can't complain. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. All right. And this will be the last one for the recall situation. Watch Cuban goes off. Okay. Elon Musk is suing so his AI can discriminate against you. That is correct. Notice all these people. Ah, here we go again. I knew it. I was wondering when the cutoff would start happening. All right, Eric, you went mute. Yeah, I know. It's funny. Sorry to hear that, Eric. Shouldn't TRICARE put the foot down and negotiate with the hospital? No. In other words, TRICARE negotiates a lower bill with them. That has been my experience with TRICARE. Right. Right. No. 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 TRICARE's going take it or leave it. That's it. We're not going to cover this. other leftover part 100% like they're supposed to, because once again, they have little different buckets. And also not primary, which also has a little factor since you're being sponsored, right? So there's some little tricks that they have to get out of paying for the second. And again, it also because if you're out, they don't pay 100%. So if Medicare doesn't cover it, they don't pay 100%. That's not a thing. They're never tier one. They're never first. They won't pay all the stuff. They only pay what's left over. So if you're out of the tier, out of whatever bucket that you're in, then TRICARE is only going to say, well, we'll do like 500 a day when the bill's 1,000. You follow what I'm saying? So no, it doesn't happen like that. It's not what you think. Not for us. Just saying. Not for us. This is why you have to protect yourself out here, ladies and gentlemen. You just never know what is going to happen. But I do know this. You better start protecting your assets, because assets are under siege. People are going to be losing their homes. This is for sure. You're not going to pay your tax. 2 years goes by like this. Next thing you know, 1 year goes by, 2 years go by, you didn't pay your property taxes. Somebody can put a lien on it, then you're going to owe them, I don't know, whatever the state says, 4 to 6% annually on top of whatever the bill was. And if you don't pay that, then somebody could actually foreclose, lien on your home, and now you're in a whole nother world of hurt. So this is what's happening already, going down. That's first for one. So therefore, you have to make us extra money. That's why stock market trading, you should start thinking about. That's why referral marketing, such as this crypto Visa debit card, you should be thinking about as well. If you want to refer people, if you think this is handy, then please use the link down below. In fact, since I'm on my screen, I got an invite link. Go check this out. Here's the link. Use that link. And even if you don't want to order the card, just at least please download it. All right, I'll put another in here. Yeah. Okay, so at least you're in the system. You can refer other people. People can actually send you money. You can use your virtual card. It's funny, right? And you can make money by referring people. And make money, refer people, then order a card. Whatever. You got options at least. As long as you got internet, you have options. This is the easiest thing. A lot of people are doing crypto, but it is what it is. All right. Making money online, referral marketing could go for a lot of things. You have Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo. They came out so everybody had referral links. All right. So you can refer people. They give you free shares. They can give you multiple fractional shares is what Webull likes to do. They'll do promos like 15 fractional shares, all kind of things like that. So that's not too bad, right? You can refer people and get some free shares of stock. But again, a lot of people know about Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo now. But if you don't, here you go. This is to buy some VOOSPY QQQ. That's a good point you can do now. You can also do stock trading on Moomoo and even Robinhood, and all three now. Robinhood even has a bank. Of course they do. Lambo Drew, TMT, welcome. I see you on social media to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. We're talking about Robinhood, Webull, stock market trading, crypto, Visa debit cards. We went over that already. If you still want to get into the crypto Visa debit card, let me do something else. I just put the link down. There's a Tuesday tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Eastern. You have a chance to be on the Zoom call. And they answer questions. This is what I love about their Zoom calls that these guys host. People can actually answer questions. They'll sit there and take their time to answer questions as they're going through some of the things that I told you about today. In fact, they go over a lot of things because there's people on there that has referred people, and there's some sort of contest right now, and they're calling it the Bankus 3K. And in fact, I was going through my phone while we were talking, right? And here's what they sent out for the Sunday. They're calling it the Bankus 3K. I didn't really look at it, so now I'm going to look at it. Massively build your business. Let's see. Okay, regarding registration requirements, you're going to have to email and your full name, email address, phone number, and name of your Bankus sponsor. So what happens is if you want to be on the Sunday 4 p.m. Zoom call, you have to email. I'll just tell you what it is. thewealthminister@gmail.com. thewealthminister@gmail.com. All right? Which now it probably gets spam. My fault. Probably shouldn't. I might have to. Nah, too late. Yeah, you need your full name, email address, phone number, and the name of your bank is sponsor. So that's why you should use the link, ladies and gentlemen. This right here. And then you just let them know Eric Bird told me, and send your info over to him. And then that way he gives you the link for the Zoom call. All right. Probably shouldn't have said that, but it's all good. Okay. And then you refer other people. All right. You refer other people. They sign up. Then you tell them to be on the Sunday call or the Tuesday calls and the Thursday calls. There's a lot of calls. There's a training usually on Wednesday as well with another individual. So if you're having any problems getting your card registered on the app or anything like that, they go over that. So there's a lot of help that's on the Zoom calls. That's why you have to be in there. WhatsApp group does help, which I guess I should have that link next time on Wednesday night. So that'll help out a lot of people. So that's how I get this information. It pops up. Then I share it to our SSN Lifestyle WhatsApp group, and I share it on our social media platforms. So that's why down below in the description box, there's always at the very bottom our social media platforms. So people can find out. And then I post other things as well that's not related to the live streams. So just remember that. And we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't plan on staying on too much longer. If you have anything else that you want to discuss tonight, please do so now. Okay. Let's go. Thank you again, Brian P. Let's go. You'll start receiving delayed bills for months. Example, we received a hospital bill today for a service my mother-in-law received in October 2025, and that's with a plan that cost over $10K per year. I know. Golly. Yeah, that's exactly right, because they have to, the service happens, and then their billing department sends it to the claims. Then the claims, sometimes they're not within 3, 4, 5 days. Sometimes it's a week later. They get back 10 days, or even it can be 30 days later, and they get denied. And so now that triggers where the hospital goes, hey, man, we got denied. Do you have another insurance that could cover it? No. Well, your insurance doesn't cover it. We need 3 Gs. Just saying. That's how it works. Healthcare for all would have solved all this. And again, I just get irritated when you think about when somebody, a president says, hey, let's do healthcare for all for everybody. And then you go 15 years? And before you said healthcare for all, you wasted trillions of dollars on a ridiculous Iraq war. And then you say, no, we don't want healthcare for all. But now we're over here doing what we're doing around the world. We're sending drones to Yemen. We're popping off at Iran right now, spending billions of dollars. We're up to $30-40 billion right now, plus whatever else we don't really know about, right? Some more missiles shot out. So we're talking about millions, billions of dollars. And then they say we don't have money for healthcare, which would have cleaned up all of this. No family would have to worry. Nobody would say, hey, you know what? I can't go to the hospital. I'm not covered. I can't spend $3,000 because I went to emergency. I mean, I'm going to have a bill, but you understand. I mean, it's devastating. And we're supposedly the richest country in the world. Again, supposedly is the key word. All of that bravado and all of that stuff, you can talk a good game until the rubber meets the road. When you start having a large percentage of your population not being able to live and make money and have to work multiple jobs, then you start finding out how well your country really is. And unfortunately, most countries are all the same. You could be destitute, they don't care. They'll throw you in jail, remove you from being seen from the public, and then throw you in jail, charge you a bill, and then now that you don't pay your bill, now you have warrant for your arrest, and now you have another warrant for your arrest because you're not going to pay that bill either after they pick you up. Because, I mean, it's just sad. Instead of mental illness facilities that Reagan said, release everybody. Or trade schools, learn a trade. That way it can help you out if all else fails. Why would a certain segment of whoever governs say no trade school, no mental health facilities, wars, deficits? This is always under a certain governing body. They do the same playbook and make sure tax cut, tax breaks is in there so they take money from us to give to the higher side of society, the wealth class. And there's people still rocking with these guys. And I'm like, how? These guys are actually out here trying to hurt us, you included, just because some of us get through and we're able to be successful in spite of, not because they actually helped. They're like guarding stuff. They're like guarding your being able to move, sitting there saying, well, yeah, we have laws in place just to make sure that if you get successful, we can squash you if we want to. We can always make it more difficult for certain people and we can make it easier for others. Just like right now, if you're a friend of our government regime, then they're going to make sure that you can start a business 4 days ago and you can get a government contract and tens of millions of dollars because you're friends. I mean, this is like third world country stuff. This is craziness. You too, if you're a government employee, can now have a private jet. I mean, don't worry, taxpayers. It's all good. And people are just like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm down with this. I'm like, how are you down? I don't even care if whether I like you or not. I'm still caring about some dudes doing this activity. If people are doing this type of activity, a third world country bullshit, you should be worried, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't care about your money. They're taking your money. They're stealing your money as you watch them over there celebrating, drinking beer with the hockey team on a private jet that you had to pay for. And you're sitting there like, oh, yeah, that's all right. How's that all right, man? We're out here getting hurt. And services aren't being, there is no infrastructure being done. Only infrastructure from the infrastructure bill that Biden did, right? Other than that, these guys don't, that's already done. They're not contributing, stacking on top to help citizens with higher paying jobs. They're squashing jobs. And by the way, did you guys get that, what was it, $116 billion of tariffs that's going to be returned to the corporations? Reparations for the corporations, but no money for you, the consumer, who paid the higher prices. I know they didn't do a PSA on that either, but it happened. And you got to log in a portal to get your money back. That's funny stuff. So all this stuff, and guess what? China's not logging into the portal to get their money back, or anybody else that we tariffed. The corporations are logging in to get their money back. You know, some corporations went out of business because of tariffs. Their tariff bill was enormous, and they couldn't afford to pay it. So then they had to go out of business. Companies that have been in business for families oriented 20, 30, 40 years. You guys should be upset that your taxpayer dollars is being used in this fashion and not anything is being used to help mass transit, help healthcare, to help you getting jobs, not creating any infrastructure bills, not creating job bills, but there damn sure is a lot of job losses. And 80% of you out here are living paycheck to paycheck. So therefore, you're going to need a new skill set. The air conditioning guys, heating and AC, they're going to be gold. Plumbers, gold. Car repair people, gold, because people are going to keep their cars longer. So now they're going to have to keep them up. So there's certain things that you could actually do right now, but of course it's going to cost you time, effort, long hours potentially. You're going to get paid, but isn't that what a job is? Trading your time for a wage? That's why you want financial freedom, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why the referral network we talked about tonight, even if you don't want to do the crypto Visa debit card, there's other things that you can do, right? Don't sit here idly by and watch the parade go by, because they are actually laughing at you at the offices. They're laughing at you. Our government's laughing at people while they are siphoning off all kinds of money for their family and friends. We have a government that's suing our government. Government officials are suing our government, which means us, the taxpayer. And people are still good with this Banana Republic stuff. So don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. A reckoning is coming. But I thought this was going to happen about 20, 30 years from now. Apparently, it's going to happen well before that. There is no coming back from what we're doing in the Middle East. So just keep that in mind. You're going to have to start thinking of yourself and your family and what your plans are. But all I do know is they're going to be trying to figure out how to take things from certain individuals. So you should protect yourself with another name, whether that's an LLC, whether that's a corporation, whether that is a trust. You need to have items in other things' names, just so you understand where this is going to go. All right? And they're going to start raising the prices for registering your vehicles, your property taxes. The insurance companies are going to raise their rates. Everybody at the top is going to increase their cost to you and make sure that you are barely surviving, like what's happening right now. 80% of the population is roughly 230 million. But out of that, how many people actually have a job? There's not even 230 million jobs. Let's get this straight off the bat. So never mind, there's over 300 million people. There's not even 200 million jobs. That's livable wage jobs. So once you keep siphoning this off, you're going to have to figure out alternative ways. So what was the alternative ways? Being on YouTube, social media, TikTok, OnlyFans, whatever the case may be. Then all of a sudden they said, hold on, we're going to change how we give people payouts. Of course, the wealthy keeps moving the goalpost up. So they say, okay, so we're going to make sure the top 25% make money, and the other ones, when they don't have that large of followings or they don't have that much presence, well, they're going to have to fall off by the wayside because they're not going to be able to make a living from doing it. So now what? If you don't have any skill sets other than social media, you got to have some sort of skill set to make money, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why we talk about trading. That's why we talk about tonight referral. That's why I discussed this trading and the AC, the plumber, the carpenter, and all these guys, the car mechanic. It's hard work, but these guys are going to have customers for life. They have no problem finding customers. All right? The only problem is, are you going to go study and learn and try to be one of the best? So then people are going to keep calling you back. That's referrals and making sure making sure they're the best. That's what you're going to have to do. So just keep in mind, if you don't have that skill set, or skill sets to repair it yourself, then you're going to need some other skill sets to make more money. And unfortunately, a job, you're capped. So therefore, you're going to have to make investment dollars work one way or another, whether you're going to invest in real estate, whether you're going to invest in stocks, whether you're going to invest in land, whether you're going to invest in commercial buildings, warehouse buildings. There's opportunities to do a lot of things, but it's costing more to get involved if you want to move up the ladder to higher end stuff. Like right now, I'm in Vegas. I'm going to the NAB show, right? Anybody see the shorts? All right. So the NAB show is the National Association of Broadcasters, but who is there is people that actually make TV, movies run. The camera crews, the software, the hardware, the virtual rooms, all this stuff is there. Do you know how much this stuff cost? It's not 5 grand, not 10. This stuff to make the engine work is 50,000, 70,000, 100,000. All right. I just went to, had a talk with Zero Density. They use virtual sets. People are walking around with a green screen, just what you see on the news, just what you see on sports shows. The studio's not even there, and they make it anything they want. So yes, I could be sitting at a desk talking, and you think it's really a desk. You really think it's a studio. It costs 60 to 70,000 just for the software, not the cameras, the software. And then you're going to need cameras. So then before you know it, you're at 200, 250 G's. How many people have $300,000? Because you're also going to have to get a crew yourself. They just deliver. You're going to need a crew to run this if you're going to do a production. And your crew, you can't pay them 3 G's a month. Okay, that's not going to work. All right? Nobody's going to be doing that. That's in that industry. It's specialized. Gatekeeper like. So there's where we go. All right? And it's very hard. And by the way, remember how I told you guys, some of you who's going to watch this in replay, remember when I told you, wherever all the white guys are, I have to be like, wow, what the heck's going on here? This is where all the money is. Well, yesterday is one of those days. I walk into the convention center, and like usual, the ushers, the people that are, when you go get your badges, the help desk, help and information, the people standing at the doorways to make sure people have badges on so they can go through. 90% look like me. The guys with the boots, like Zero Density, Adobe, it's on and on. A who's who of virtual reality, who's who of TV shows, the software companies, the competitors, all in the same house. 99.5% do not look like me. So I said, right where I want to be, because I'm about to do something, and I got gatekeepers, obviously, but I can do something. Because basically I have to find the software that I like. I found Zero Density. I love what they showed. It's beautiful. A guy had a studio in Southern California. I won't give any names out. And the studio does not hold a live audience. In other words, I wanted to bring in like 1,000 people, let's say 500 to 1,000. His studio is not rated for no more than 240 people. So I really can't bring in the live audience like I wanted because I'm trying to run this live show. So now, since that meant no equipment cost, but it's going to cost to rent the studio. But you can always make deals with studios and do things. But the point is, now, not that many, like that's one of the largest studios that uses Zero Density. So now I have to find there's other virtual realities. In fact, after this live stream, check out this short. Check out this short by, I can't remember the name of the company, but I actually did a 50-second video when he was doing virtual. Shows an office, makes it look like it's a nice little place, and awesome. It's sweet, and that's all virtual, right? So that gives me an idea on what I can do to scale down the cost of the production, right? So I come up with things in my mind that's not being done or is being done, but I'm going to use it a different way to my advantage. So now I'm sitting here. I figured out now I can do some virtual stuff because you can't tell the difference. Literally, it's 4K. It's you can't tell if that's a real set or if that's a virtual set. That's how good these guys are. And that's why this stuff costs 500, 600, I mean 50,000, 70,000, 90,000 for the hardware software. Because if you have this, you can literally create any image you want and it looks 3D. So it looks like there's a desk sitting here. It looks like there's a wall here, a window here. It looks like out the window there's palm trees. And it's all layered. So therefore it looks just like what your eyes see. So it, to you and your eyes, it's saying, that's a real room. That's a real building. Because it looks dead on. Dead on. They're so good. It's incredible. And in fact, I think I posted up something yesterday from Zero Density. So you guys might see it. I'm not sure. But I'm about to post up on Shorts after this live stream's over. And you'll see the other company and the guys standing behind a desk. And they show it up on the monitors. And what you see on the monitor, it looks exactly like they're in a larger room and everything. It's off the charts. So these are the things, the things on the cutting edge and already is here. And unfortunately, though, the gatekeepers, there's only certain companies that could $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And they're generally going to be the names of like Fox, NBC, CBS, right? That's what it's going to be like. ABC for starters. And then it'll be like Netflix. It'll be like Amazon. It'll be like some other streaming services. These are the people that would be able to afford to have this setup. And that gives them a huge advantage. So they can produce all this stuff all the time because they also have the warehouse or the studio space. That gives them a huge advantage. And they're already in the industry, so they can determine who's going to join the party because they were going to try and extract money. So again, this is all money making, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I can put together my little package deal and it works out. I was at the show, and after I saw the virtual thing, it looked so real. I was like, this is incredible. So now I might be able to do some other things that I didn't think about before. And that's why I actually go to the NAB. It's for 3 or 4 days. So I told you guys before, I'll be throwing down some videos. One of these days I'll run a video from it. It's just in my honors. I have to deal with that today. So I couldn't be at the show that long and at all. And then tomorrow going to the show. And I used to rock with the guys at Adobe for software. I used to do Adobe Dreamweaver MX. And yesterday I'm at the show talking to Adobe guy, and I said, hey man, come on, how long you been with Adobe? I said, you guys really messed up. And I couldn't believe it because I said, how long you been working for the company? And he says, oh, like 20 years or whatever. So I said, man, you guys used to have this software that would help people build websites. I said, this software literally, even in today's standards from 20 years ago, outpaces anything. And the reason I say that, it was a true place anything, anywhere that you wanted. None of these grids, none of this crap. You could just literally, and the best part, it coded. So you can build web pages in minutes. Literally. And so when I started talking to him, he goes, you're talking about Adobe Dreamweaver, aren't you? I started laughing. I said, oh, you have been here a while. He goes, yep, that's the one. And I said, it's not quite the one. Dreamweaver MX is the one. And he starts laughing. He goes, oh my. I said, yeah, I got that. And you're telling me I can upgrade it? What's the deal? So tomorrow I'm going to go to Adobe, which they now have this Firefly stuff that is lit, right? Firefly's lit. And so I said, yeah, I need that. because that, if anybody ever had Adobe Dreamweaver MX, Dreamweaver itself is awesome. MX was on a whole another level. It was like their next level, and I don't want to say upgrade, but it was next level above Dreamweaver, and they made it even easier. So you could imagine building a. It was so easy back in the day. You could just move stuff around. You want something to link, you just put in the tap it, put in the link, done. And then you say, I want it in whatever language you wanted it in. HTML was number one for web pages, right? Now you have other web types. So you could have put it in like 3 different ones at the time. So now we're talking less than 15 minutes. You could have like a 10, 15 page website with products, services, everything on it. And then Adobe stopped it. That's right, they stopped it. Because once they realized, they were like, wait, we're giving up something that we could actually charge for. They were like, hold on, people don't need us anymore. And this stuff was good. You had like casinos in Las Vegas. That's what their websites were made with back in the 2000s. It was like, because you can put them up like in 15 minutes. I'm literally trying to tell you, 15, 20 minutes. You could make a website that looks like today's websites in 15, 20 minutes. So the timelines was way shorter. But anyhow, this is why I like going to these shows, because I love the atmosphere. I love when I go there, I always learn something new that's out. This is on the cutting edge. So now you can be ahead of the curve if you can do something. And just like yesterday with zero density, I get a little bit ahead of the curve because even though it's out, that means there's use cases for it, and not everybody's going to have that use case. My use case, I started really thinking about I could pare down the cost of production. So if you can produce something, if it's going to cost you 400,000 and now you can actually produce a show and you have the space. So now I think, man, I need a warehouse. I need some stuff. You could actually bypass what I was thinking originally, like the Foxes, the ABCs and all this, because I got to sell that to them. They got to give me a green light. And they might want to take some of those profits, but I've already, I can figure out how they're not. But the point I'm trying to make is they'll make a deal because they're in the driver's seat because they have the platforms already built. So what I'm trying to do is, if I just found out that I can sidestep a little and have everything production-wise, and then I can actually go straight streaming, and I figured out something else as well. So it's going to be awesome, man, once I tell you guys how this is going. But again, this is only the beginning. It's a long road. But the NAB show is till the 22nd. And if anybody's in Las Vegas going to be at the NAB show, hit me up. Could say, hey, SSN Nation in the house, as you guys know, back into the movie business, so to speak. All right, dealing on the peripherals with the movie guys. So it's going to be very easy. I hit up a friend of mine that's doing I think it's a music show in Hawaii. I think it's America's Got Talent, maybe. Anyhow, I don't really know, but anyhow, he's in Hawaii doing this music stuff. So I hit him up because I said, hey, I just let him know. I said, hey man, I need to talk to you about some things, and I just hit him up yesterday. So again, I'm working on some major stuff right now, even though I'm still trying to take care of my aunt, which takes a lot of my time away. And I'm not really taking care of her, so to speak, but you got to drive there. Then you're there for it. What turns out to be 1 hour, could be 2 hours, could be 3, because again, the nurses don't take care of people like they should. You're sitting there like, why has this been beeping? So we get there, there's something beeping in the room, meaning like an infusion or something like that, or meds or antibiotics. It's done. It's beeping. So, you sit around for, I usually 2 to 5 minutes. But after that, I'm like, okay, nobody's coming. The beeping's going on. So how long has the beeping been going on? And then you press the button the call button. And then about 3 to 5, 6, 10 minutes later, somebody shows up. Hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, this has been beeping since we've been here for like 10, 15 minutes. I didn't want to touch the equipment, even though I kind of know how to stop it. But I was like, nah, I don't want to mess with the equipment, you know? So it's just stuff like that, It's just stuff, it might have simple stuff like person's eyes like has sleep in it or something, and you're like, they don't clean people like on a schedule. So then it's kind of, you sit there and you start helping out, doing stuff. It's things like this. So it's dignity that you need, and it's sad, really. So like I said, just health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to run out of here right now. Crypto Visa debit card in the house. Everybody that's been watching out here, I appreciate it. Appreciate you. I appreciate the support. Nobody saw the trailer again. Let me know if you guys are seeing the trailer. I'm going to have to assume no trailer. You guys aren't seeing any trailer. Nobody's saying they've seen the trailers. Today was a different one. I believe this was, I put in St. Martin. This is SSN Lifestyle, Mr. Worldwide. And I have more videos and more stuff that's in storage, of course, that, like I said, this is just some of the stuff, right? So that's why I'm having a little fun with it. And hopefully I'll see you guys on Wednesday night at 8:50 p.m. I'm a little bit late these days because my timing's off. I'm going to be at the NAB show tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Talking, slapping hands, shaking hands, getting to see who's who, because they're all in there like, who's this guy? Because again, 99.9% in this show with badges on, walking around, are white guys. So of course, when I show up, they're like, what's he doing here? And so then when you start talking and they're starting to realize, they're like, wait a minute. Like the guy at Zero Density, the reason why me and him got off to a good conversation is because he starts going, hey man, it's nice talking with you because you actually know about the industry and the software and stuff. He goes, this is awesome. I said, yeah. And so he's like, oh, okay, man. So now he's like, we can talk. And that's when he starts going, hey, man, you need to meet one of our partners. He's got a studio down in L.A. And you told me a little bit about what you're doing. He might be able to help you. He could help me, but the live audience portion that I need, he can't help me. And it would have worked out great because he was a small studio. He just didn't have enough audience space, 250, 240. Yeah, it could have worked, but I'm like, I don't want that. I want it to be, I want it to actually be like 1,000 people. It's simple as that. To get the raw emotions going, right? You hear crowds screaming, yelling, doing all kinds of things, and live. So it can't work, but who knows? And like I said, I got lucky. Used to play poker, and then I was looking for something. Since I'm in Vegas, I was like, wait a minute, there's all kind of event centers here and all kind of stuff here. Let me check how many places are actually around here. Can you believe what is the odds of me playing poker 20 years ago, roughly 15 to 20 years ago? And I see a name on a studio and I'm like, this can't be. A friend of mine owns a studio. What the? Oh, it's him. So I hit him up too. I know it's good to have friends and all the kind of place. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, he's on this. I haven't heard back from him because I'm not sure if it's his family, but it's his name on the studio. Last name is on the studio. So I was like, is it his family? Is it his brother? Is it his mom, dad, whoever? So I sent him a message saying, hey man, don't tell me you got this studio out here. I'm trying to do something. And that's how this could actually work. So I got some friends that got some stuff, but I got to see if it's actually him, because that would be awesome. Because then that means it's going to happen in Vegas, which would be a cool thing too. That's if the price is right, if we can make it happen. But I'm just saying. So I'm checking out all kind of things just by accident. Was that because I was just like, let me just go look. There's a couple places. Unfortunately, A&G and AXS, they actually have booking of these casinos, and they're basically like, they don't even have that good of shows to me, but apparently people are going to go see them. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. These guys have showrooms where they have 2 acts, 3 acts a month, stuff like this. And not even every day. They're not in residency. They're just like coming on a Saturday, then 2 weeks later is another Saturday, then a Friday, Saturday, and this is like 4 acts in the whole month, and that's what they're doing around here. I'm just like, man, these guys could use some love. And I got to call in some other favors as well to make this possibly happen, because I had my friends do a show also at the, I don't know where it was. Oh, wasn't Planet Hollywood. It wasn't, where was it? It was a big stage. And they were doing like a game show kind of thing that had to do with poker at the time. I can't remember where it was. It seems like it was at, yeah, I think it was at, it's either at Paris or Planet Hollywood. It was either, nah, it wasn't at Planet Hollywood. I don't even think it was at Paris. I don't know where it was. It might have been at Bellagio. It was somewhere right in that little section. That's all I can remember. So it had to be one of those 3. And they actually had a show in there, which was actually pretty impressive, pretty cool. So anyhow, we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep in mind, stay safe out here. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, and that's why we had to come with the crypto debit Visa card, crypto debit MasterCard, and ways to make money from that by referring people. That's why please use my link down below in the description box or in the chat room if you watch this on replay. And then get into the Bankus Zoom calls Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. During the Zoom calls, they'll tell you about the Wednesday training calls, just so you get more understanding, and that's where you'll get the link for that. So just stay locked in, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of easy. A lot of people are sending money outside the country, inside the country. A lot of people use crypto, trade with crypto, and now this gives them a way that they can actually spend the money. ATMs, you cannot go get a bank advance because your name is not on this Bankus card. All right? It's almost like, it is like an old school black card. No names. But you got a Visa or MasterCard logo. And you just come up and... And if you make money from this, then you have that old school black card feel. And speaking of something that's very major, how about using your card if you have $100,000 in the account? Yeah, I know. 70 grand. 90 grand. Some people are actually going to achieve that because they have 200 or 300 people that they signed up. And so out of that, you got 10 to 20% of people that's referring other people. And then other people are reloading because they're making money, right? So then you get money from all of that because there's 3 tiers to it. But we'll talk about that on another day. If anybody has any questions, make comments down below, even in replay. Don't be shy out here, all right? It's rough out here. And being rough out here means you got to try and stay safe, your family safe. Make sure you try to stay calm under all situations. A lot of people are freaking out over the tiniest of things, making rash decisions. Don't be one of them. Always try to stay calm and stay clear of all evil if possible. You don't need to be involved with anything crazy. And above all, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.